Can you imagine how scary it would be to walk on the streets or sleep in your bed and your luxury watch goes missing? In 18th century England, pickpockets and street thieves targeted luxury watch owners on the streets, in stores, and in regular clubs and restaurants. But it's 2023, folks, and the streets are wilder and crazier than in the 18th century England. Why? We have social media now, celebrities, and a better supply of top-notch luxury. So should you wear your luxury watch out on the streets? Well, let's find out. Lately, some seriously infamous watch heists have made the rounds in history books. Remember the 1983 smash and grab of Breguet's Marie Antoinette pocket watch, or the wild days of the bling ring snatching up Orlando Bloom's 10 prize timepieces in the early 2000s. Celebrities like Rafael Nadal and the late James Gandolfini have hit the headlines because of stolen watches. But here's the kicker. These sneaky thieves aren't just eyeing the rich and famous. They've got their sights set on regular folks too. Here's the real shocker. 2022 became a blockbuster year for watch thefts. According to the Watch Register, the big league database for tracking lost or stolen watches globally, a whopping 6,815 watches, worth over $1.3 billion, went missing or got pinched in 2022. That's a crazy 60% jump from the year before. And guess what? The numbers are still climbing this year. In the good old US of A, lost or stolen watches have shot up by a jaw-dropping 106% in 2023 compared to last year. It's been a real watch-stealing fiesta lately. Over the years, cops have clocked onto something. Celebrities are like magnets for thieves, mainly because everyone knows who they are. Thanks to social media hotspots like Instagram and YouTube, these celebs strut their stuff, showing off their flashy watch collections to the world. The trouble is, all that exposure doesn't just rake in likes. It makes those high-end watches way more recognizable to folks who didn't know them. And let's talk about the impact, because it's big. Reports from the Watch Register spill the tea. 47% of thefts went down in England, while the USA and Germany got 9% each. Rolex, the real star, makes up 44% of the watches in the Watch Register's database, valued at a cool $550 million. The Daytona GMT and Oyster Perpetual models? They're the top targets thanks to their crazy demand, endless waitlists, and mega resale value. After Rolex, Omega and Breitling joined the crew with 7% and 6% of theft reports respectively. Seems like those flashy watches are catching everyone's eye. In 2021, the spotlight hit England when the Rolex Rippers pulled off a string of thefts across London and beyond, snagging those glitzy Rolex watches. First, they aimed at celebs flashing their bling on socials, but then they widened their net, hitting regular folks leaving museums and pubs. The Independent spilled the tea. Watch thefts in England and Wales nearly doubled from 6,696 to 11,035 between 2015 and 2021. Mainly thanks to crews like the Rolex Rippers. These bad apples are now facing serious jail time for their antics. Here's the plot twist. Watch thefts aren't just about someone losing their prized possession. It's tied to the growing secondary watch market, a real cash cow, $27 billion big. And it's on track to hit $85 billion soon, outdoing sales of brand new watches, says a Lux Consult report. The pandemic slammed the brakes on making new watches for big brands. Crafting these timepieces is a slow grind, and getting back on track hasn't been a quick job. So boutiques ended up with watches just there for show. Waitlists for the hottest brands went through the roof, and everyone wanted a piece of that pre-owned watch action. Why all this stealing, you ask? Well, it's a mix of stuff. The state of the pre-owned market, rising prices, sky-high interest rates, strict Fed rules, tight money lending, and worries about a big recession brewing. But there's more to the tale, especially when it comes to cops taking notice. They're starting to think that watch theft is just the tip of the iceberg. Many of these cases seem tied to big-time crime groups playing in the league of money laundering and shady business deals. Yikes, it's a whole wild world out there. Brands are stepping up to tackle these thefts head-on. At the Watches and Wonders trade show in April, Richemont, the powerhouse behind big names like Cartier and Jaeger-LeCoultre, rolled out Inquirus. It's a game changer, a free tool that lets folks with watches or bling report them missing or stolen using their serial numbers. It's a lifeline for anyone dealing in pre-owned items, allowing them to double-check the status and even team up with law enforcement across borders. And that's not all. Audemars Piguet, another major player, dropped a new policy to amp up their usual 2-year coverage. This fresh policy adds theft protection for watches snagged from Audemars Piguet stores or authorized sellers. They've got your back, offering replacements or cash back if your watch goes missing at home or on your travels. It's all about giving customers extra peace of mind and more security. Smart move, right? It's great seeing brands step up to protect their customers' watches, but the bigwigs in the watch world aren't completely convinced it's enough. Joshua Ganjay, the big boss at European Watch Company, a family business in the pre-owned watch game for over 30 years, says these solo registries don't cut it. He's all about a one-stop shop database to track a watch's journey. Others in the know agree, including Tanny Nug from Chubb, the big league insurer for the wealthy. She points out the headache of reporting stolen watches in different places and thinks the watch world needs a central hub for all this info. Ganjay and Ying reckon it's time for collectors to take the reins themselves. Ying has some serious tips to keep your watch safe at home. First up, a top-notch alarm system. It's important that the system is comprehensive, emphasized Ying. We see break-ins happen easily where a thief will scale the second floor level of a home. They'll break into a window that doesn't have a glass break sensor, so that alarm doesn't sound. So really having that comprehensive alarm system is a first layer of protection. The second layer of protection is a high-security safe. According to Ying, not all safes are created equal. We define a high-security safe as one that's over 750 pounds, so it's not easy for one person to move, shared Ng. And then you want what we call a security-rated TRTL 30x6. That essentially means that it's going to take at least 30 minutes for someone to use a professional torch and tools to break into a safe. Regarding traveling with your watch bling, Ng's got some solid advice too. If you're going to wear a watch when you're traveling, be mindful of which watch you pick and choose something that's going to fly under the radar. Maybe don't take your Patek Philippe 5711. Then if you're going to travel with multiple watches, make sure to keep them in a nondescript case that's not easily identifiable. And always keep them in your carry-on and be sure the bag remains on your person or within sight. Ng suggested one more precaution to consider after you reach your destination. Don't use the in-room hotel safe, Ng cautioned. Every one of those safes has default codes that all of the staff in the hotel have access to. Instead, speak to the hotel about storing your watches in their main vault. And hey, when you're diving into the second-hand market to snag a new piece for your collection, Ganjay's dropping some wisdom. He's all about buying from the right spots. Hit up reputable sellers who know their stuff. Look for places with watch experts who can give your new watch a full service and check its serial number in the databases. He's big on checking out their warranty too. It's like an extra seal of trust. But his number one tip? Go for a pre-owned watch with everything in the package, like the box and papers. That's a telltale sign it's the real deal from the original owner. Anyway, if you've been uneasy about where to keep your watch or when to wear your watch, then you're not alone. Consider wearing your luxury watch everywhere but the hotspots of your town. And get that safe.